So among those national issues is red tagging. You're familiar with it.
Yes, very familiar.
It's happening. What are your thoughts on this at this point?
Well, actually, the government's always been the same in terms of red tagging since martial law, Marcos.
It's been going on for a long time.
Yes, been going on for the long time. When you're an opposition or you disagree with government, you criticize government, you're a communist, you're a terrorist, you're a rebel.
You're a suspect.
You're a suspect. In fact, if I remember when I was a kid, I did remember some statements that Ninoy Aquino was an NPA and Jokno and Tanyada, they're communists, and so on, so on.
They still say that until now.
For the younger generation, Joknos and Tanyadas now, you're right, no? Because I did remember Erin was attacked a week ago that, you're just a lawyer of the communists. That's why in one forum, there was a question, are you a communist? And I was about to stand up because that's usually asked of me. And they addressed it to Erin Tanyada. I was so surprised. And I said,
You were spared.
what happened there? I'm the one who's supposed to be asked that. But in any case, Ami, I think the voters and the people now are going beyond that labeling and say, what did Colmenares do? What did Tanyada do?
It's not affecting your campaign.
It affects. There are people who, if you repeat it, you repeatedly and repeatedly,
Yes.
of course, people will say, because I did remember a moderate, a friend of mine told me, the moderate voter said, alam mo, I really like Colmenares. He has good issues.
Siguro kolminista yun.
Komunista.
Kolminista yun.
Corny mo, Robby.
Yes, but it is an election campaign,
no?
and branding is important in elections.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so ang red tagging dyan, ang treatment dyan, if it's a normal position of an ordinary person, you clarify. But if it's government doing that, then it's a violation of election rule and a violation of the anti-graft laws. Because government personnel, the NDP, PNP, AFP, they're all prohibited by our laws from engaging in partisan political activity. And campaigning for or against a candidate
Pero
is
kung in the name of
precisely that.
national security lang, they're saying it's been
Then
going
file
on for a
a
long
case
time.
against us. Yeah, they file a case against. That's always been the issue with them in their drug list. File a case against them. Oh, but we don't have enough evidence, so don't put them in the list. I mean, either you put them there or you file a case against them. So but in any case, I guess that's how elections are run here. If you run out of issues, because when people look at me, they said, "What did he really do? Did he really do something that would generate such?" In fact, the first thing they did to me before was, he is a communist because he is pro-China. I did remember that about 2 years ago. And I said, but I filed the first case against China in 2008 during the time Gloria Arroyo. So how could they think I'm pro-China? So that means people are just, thinking that, So I'm glad that some are transcending that now, and I guess looking at what our positions are in issue, and probably that's what's important. The laws we passed, and I did manage to pass a few laws, no matter how difficult in Congress. And I guess I really hope that people will go beyond labeling, and even for me, not just even the senatorial candidates of the administration, I wouldn't want them to be judged on the basis of labels.
For you to pass any law in Congress, you have to get past labeling of your seatmates and everybody around you.
Correct.
I'm just curious, what have you learned about the real politic of working with tradpoles and everybody in Congress?
Wow, that's a very, very complicated question because I have to consider and remember that. But yeah, I think first, if the issues are really, pro-people issues like, increase in SSS, pension, it gets their support in a way. And you would need people's support from the outside to get it passed. It's not easy also, even with pro-people issues. If you go for the big issues, that's almost impossible, like genuine agrarian reform law, or we have a bill there, privatized Petron. Sorry, nationalized Petron. It won't get anywhere. So I guess there's that division. So meaning to say, sometimes our colleagues would support a bill if they think that's for for the benefit of people, but it's not easy also.
Have you horse traded?
Yes, we've horse traded. For example, during the budget debates, they would say how many interpellators you have. For example, we have 8 interpellators. They would say, well, can you limit it to 3?
Ganun lang.
And in
Yeah.
exchange, we will let your proposal in the budget. For example, we battle, I don't know, we want renew the budget in a certain hospital because they cut budgets in health. Or your bill on chalk allowance for teacher, we will support that. So sometimes you horse trade
May
that
ganon.
way, yes,
Yeah,
in that sense. So
You know, I think it's hard to escape the fact that you are bayan muna.
Yes.
And I think this is where the leftist tag
Yes.
is coming in. And it's still with you, no? How do you convince the voters that you are not that when you are in fact that?
yeah, I don't even try to convince them that I'm not a leftist. I'm just saying that, a leftist is someone who goes for basic reforms in society. At maingay si Colmenares, yeah, but, kailangan mag-ingay eh. In the major junctures of our history, it was they call me the kalampag. Kailangan ng kalampag ni Colmenares sa Senado. In the major junctures of our history, it was always the kalampag. EDSA 1 came about because of the kalampag. EDSA 2, kalampag. The pork barrel issue, 1 million people marched, it was kalampag. Even the Chacha of Gloria Arroyo, it was defeated because of kalampag. When people go out in the streets and really voice out their outrage. I have a principle in Congress that I've developed. Minsan, ang gobyerno napipilitang gawin ang hindi niya gusto, depende sa kalampag ng tao sa labas ng Kongreso. And for me, that has been borne out by many battles we've had. We won those fights in Chacha. Chacha, we're so outnumbered overwhelmingly during the time of Gloria Arroyo, but we won and stopped it, not because of us, but because of the people's outrage